ReZero is an amazing series, but to be honest, it's pay to win, and you probably couldn't even afford to get all of the content for ReZero. On screen you can see a quick comprehensive guide of all of the volumes and side stories. Well, that's pretty much a lie, considering this guide only goes up to volume 30 and there are 40 volumes currently out, meaning that this is not up to date. However, it just goes to show that there's a sheer amount of ReZero content, and like I stated, you probably cannot afford to complete ReZero, and furthermore, the amount of time you need to read and consume all of the material is shocking. In fact, a series like One Piece, which is considered a long series, is actually significantly shorter than ReZero. I know it doesn't sound believable, but the amount of sheer side content that ReZero has actually adds up to quite a lot, and I'm going to be calculating the cost of owning every ReZero piece of content. However, before I actually start with that, I do need to introduce this video's sponsor, so enjoy. Imagine waking up one day only to realize everything has gone horribly wrong. Your identity stolen, your bank accounts drained, and you had no idea it was even happening. Sounds like a bad ending in ReZero, right? But unlike Subaru, you don't get a checkpoint to fix it. Bank of America recently had a data breach, but here's the scary part, they didn't even tell people for months. On average, companies take 277 days to report breaches. That's like Subaru dying over and over again before finally realizing what went wrong. That's why today's sponsor Aura comes in. Aura keeps you ahead of the game by notifying you the moment your personal information is found on the dark web. Think of it like Return by Death, but for your online security. You get warned before the worst can actually happen. And just like how Subaru has Beatrice as his ultimate defensive wall, Aura also has a built-in VPN that shields your data from prying eyes. Whether you're browsing at home or using public Wi-Fi, Aura makes sure your personal info stays protected, no matter how many unseen hands try to take it. Start your 2-week trial today using my link aura.com/JakeSaid123. So how are we going to do this? We're going to have several rules. So the first one's really simple. No deals or discounts. If you're a ReZero fan, you're going to buy everything the second it comes out with no deals or any sort of free for two offers. We're going to pretend that all content is in English. So for example, volume 40 is pretty much coming out. So we're going to assume that is out in English so we can do the calculations better. Plus, if you're a ReZero fan, you're going to buy it in Japanese anyway. We're going to ignore any import fees or delivery fees to make it simple for the calculations, because these are added costs. And everything is obtained legitimately. So that means you can't go online to read the side story, you have to get it yourself. So, again, I'm going to do this sort of like a presentation. It's the easiest way to do it, to break it down and you can sort of see what I'm doing. So let's start with the light novel. We know that one volume costs $14, and you can see this on the back of any volume. Now remember, there's no deals or discounts. As of March 2025, there are 40 light novels. Now keep in mind it's technically 39, but I'm going to include volume 40. So that is $560 to be up to date. If we move on to manga, there is the price range of $13 for one volume. There is, as you can see on screen, approximately 2 volumes for Arc 1, 5 for Arc 2, 11 for Arc 3, and it says 7 for Arc 4. That's because there's 4 that still need to be translated, and this is not counting Arc 5. So if we include all of the manga volumes, including the untranslated Arc 4 volumes, there are 26 manga volumes, giving a total of $338. If we move on to the Tanpenchus, the EX novels, one volume will cost around $14. Again, there are 6 of them, that is $84. We are then going to move on to the Tanpenchus, and there are 11 of them out, and the 12th one is coming out, by the way. so I'm going to include that. It says 12 EX novels. I meant to write down 12 Tanpenshu. So that's another $168. Now, anime Blu-ray DVDs. That is going to cost you $800. And I'm not including Season 3, because that's going to cost you another several hundred. So why am I including the Blu-ray DVDs? Well, you're a ReZero fan, so you need to collect them. But even if you didn't want to, you would have to buy the Blu-ray DVDs to get access to very important content. And by the way, for those wondering where I got my prices from, you can see I used ChatGPT to give me the prices. And I chose, by the way, the lower price of around 7,000 yen rather than 8,000. So, for example, if you wanted to get your hands on the Greed If light novel, the only way you can do that is by buying all of the Blu-ray DVDs. Furthermore, on screen you can see, for example, if you buy the Blu-ray DVDs, you get access to the ReZero prequel Apocalypse Girls novel, and so on and so forth. So this is the only way you can get these stories. You have to buy the Blu-ray DVDs. And if you're a ReZero completionist, you have to do that, okay? You can't just go online and read it, okay? You have to do it yourself, because you're a ReZero completionist. The games. There are 2 games. So, Prophecy of the Throne and Kiss or Death, which was Japan only. I've chosen the standard versions. However, if you're a ReZero elitist, you would have to buy the premium deluxe editions, and it will cost a bit more. Now, here's where I have to use some estimation. For those that don't know, there's a comic called Comic Alive, and you can see on the left hand side. These are roughly £5.50. Well, I say £5.50, I mean $5.50. And I'm estimating there's around 50 side stories which are bundled into these Comic Alive magazines, meaning that it would cost you around $275 to collect all of these magazines. Now, some of these stories are then put into the Tanpenshus, but again, you're a ReZero completionist, so you have to get them all. Shop specials. Now, again, I'm taking some liberty with this. For those that don't know, every time a light novel is released, there are 3 special versions. One with Melon Books, one with Gamers, and one with Tora Noana. I'm probably saying that wrong. So if you wanted to get all 3 side stories, you would have to buy the same volume 3 times. So you would have to buy volume 39 3 times at 3 exclusive stores to get the 3 unique side stories. So in other words, your 40 volumes that you bought for like $560, we're now going to times that value 3 times. So we're going to add another 1,120 onto the total, because we've already spent that 560. Now, to be fair, I don't know if the early light novels had their own shop specials, so this value could probably be like $700, but I'm going to go with the maximum amount. Birthday events. For those that don't know, there are exclusive birthday events where you will get given exclusive side stories when you buy merchandise, and this is around 3,000 yen. There are 16 birthday events, and even though we don't have that much information about the earlier ones, let's assume it's also 3,000 yen. So that will be 48,000 yen, which is around $321. Now, on screen you can see a sort of cut version of all of the side stories in ReZero. And by the way, this is out of date by several years, because you can see the most up-to-date volume is volume 30, and I've just told you that it's volume 40 right now. By the way, I've not included the movie. I've not included many side stories because I'm not actually sure where they go. I know there are data books and other material. There's like the Reebok special. So I'm not exactly sure, but we can add some more money. So let's work out the total cost. Light novels, 560. Manga, 338. EX novels in Tanpenshu, 84 and 168. Blu-rays around 800, games 120, Comic Alive 275, 321 for the birthday events, And if you wanted to get the shop specials, 1,120, with a total cost of $3,782, the complete ReZero. And do you know what? That cost is probably wrong, and it's probably much more. And the reason why I know that is because one of the original shop special side stories is $300. And I know that because I made a video on it. So, if you're truly a ReZero completionist, well, you better be rich, because most people cannot afford this. Thank you for watching.